What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp extension overview for you. So in today's video I'm continuing my series on great architectural extensions for working inside of SketchUp. So this is a series that I've been doing for a while now, where we go through a lot of great extensions for doing things in architecture. So as a part of this series, I've put together a free architectural extensions guide that you can download at TheSketchUpEssentials.com/architecture extensions. It has links to all of these extensions showing you where you can get them and what they do. So if that's something you're interested in, once again, make sure to check that out at TheSketchUpEssentials.com/architecture extensions. Now let's go ahead and just jump into it. So one of the things that gets really time consuming for me when working in SketchUp is spending a lot of time modeling out doors and windows and stairs and things like that. And so today's extension contains a tool set that'll do that for you. So it allows you to add in different doors and windows and other things simply by adding them in. And then the big plus to this is not only does it model them out for you, but it also will let you adjust them dynamically because they're all in as dynamic components. So today's extension is called FlexTools. So you can find more information about this in the Architecture Extensions Guide, which I have linked to in the notes down below. But basically what this tool does is this tool adds a number of different dynamic components into SketchUp that you can use in order to create things like your doors and windows. And the great thing about these is they're completely adjustable. So like for example, if I look at this window right here, and let's say that I decide that I want this to have multiple different vertical divisions in here, you can adjust this just by coming in here and changing your component options, and these will adjust in place. So if I decide I want this to have 3 divisions instead of 2, you can see I can come in here and I can adjust that just by using the dynamic information associated with this window. So this extension contains a number of different components that allows you to do things like this. And so all of these different components are dynamic, meaning they're all adjustable. And then another plus is all of these are set up to cut holes in your walls. So let's say, for example, that I wanted this window to be aligned with the midpoint of this window. I could just move that over, and then I could add another window in here if I wanted to and cut another hole inside of this wall. So you can see how this allows you to really quickly make those changes. And one of the nice things about this is a lot of the time when you model out your own windows, things like your mullions are kind of hard to keep track of. So if you want those mullions to stay the same size, that can get a little bit frustrating if you model this out just manually. But with this extension, those dynamically adjust to keep the right proportions, to keep those windows looking good. So you can see how cutting those openings is really easy. And so in addition, these tools are also dynamic in the sense that you can use the interact tool to do things like opening your doors and your windows. So you can see how, for example, I can set these windows to be open or closed just by using that interact tool. So because these are dynamic, making those changes or changing your view so that your doors and windows are open or closed is really easy as well. So this extension contains a number of different tools in here, all of which are adjustable. So you've got different doors and different windows. So you've got more like commercial windows if you want those. You've got more residential as well. They're all adjustable. They all change with any adjustment that you make. So you can see how I can use this to really kind of change the way this window looks really easily without having to come in here and redo any of this stuff on the inside. Then you can also adjust things like, if you go into your dynamic components, things like the depth of your sill. So for example, you can adjust the settings in the component options to make this sill either wider or narrower depending on what you want this to look like. So you can also adjust things like your frame depth. So if you want your frame to be thicker, like if you wanted this to be a 6-inch window, you could adjust this so it's 6 inches deep. So it's really easy for you to come in here and make all of those different changes. So, and then some of the other tools in here are like the louver, for example, or the slat. What the slat will do is that'll actually adjust the size of your slats inside of his slat as you adjust this up and down. So making this fit at an opening or something like that is really easy to do as well. And then one of the newer tools that they've added is the Flex Stair. So what the stair does is that allows you to either use the scale tool to adjust the height of the stair, or you can actually come in here and you can manually put that in here. So for example, if you wanted this to have a height of something like 12 feet, you could come in here and set your fixed height to 12 feet, and your risers and your other things in here would automatically adjust in order to give you that size. And then you could also adjust like the depth of the risers and other things like that in order to make this work. And then one of the cool new functions that they've added is they've added the ability to add a landing. So like for example, if you wanted a landing in here and you wanted it to be something like 4 feet, you could either apply the landing length in here and then use the interact tool to set where that is. So you can see how I can adjust this to add the landing wherever I want it to be, or you could just tell it that you want the landing to be at a certain step. So if you wanted that to be after step 8 or something like that, you can adjust that in here as well, just by adjusting the dynamic tools. So they've also added a flex ramp. So the ramp has been added so that you can adjust and create ramps quickly. You can see how by adjusting this height, you can move this up and down, and this stays fixed as a ramp. So if you need to quickly add a dynamic ramp, you can do that as well. And then finally, there's a number of different tools contained in here for working with your dynamic components. So they have a wall cutter tool that is useful for cutting holes in walls. If the fixed dynamic component wall cutter doesn't work, they have a tool in here for that. They also have tools in here for like plan view. So like for example, if I was to select this door and set this to plan view, it's going to turn off things like your hinges and your hardware so that this looks a little bit better in plan view. So then you could take this and you could interact with this in order to get your door swing, and this would all be set up for plan view. So in addition, it also has the ability to change the swing direction of that door. So like for example, if we didn't want this door to swing out, we could come over here and select it, and we could change the swing direction, and it would flip that door without you having to come in here and do a whole bunch of rework. So tools like that for working with dynamic components can save you a lot of time. And then in addition, it also gives you access to the component finder. So component finder is a tool that's contained inside of FlexTools that allows you to manage your different components. So basically what it does is it allows you to open and adjust, or open and look at a whole bunch of different folders on your computer, and it'll give you a visual indicator of what different components in those folders look like. So if you want to manage your components, you can see how you can do this really easily by using component finder. So like for example, if I wanted to add some trees, this would give me access to my tree library really quickly, so you can see how I can bring those in without having to do a whole bunch of looking around or messing around with the components pane. This allows you to really kind of organize and manage the components on your computer. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Was this helpful to you? Is this an extension that you're interested in? I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. So make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.